are these? That is a pretty slide. See, did I explain this? No, because we didn't start them yet. Yes, but not yours. Because these are from Dr. Bledsoe's classes. Her students have better PowerPoints than us, apparently. You'll see. I know. Dr. Bledsoe's class. You know how we make case studies and stuff? She just had them instead put them on a PowerPoint, like on one slide or two slides, and then send them in, and she put them all together. Yeah, so she gave me a good sampling of pretty much almost everything that's at the topic.
Why did you come up with that?
See what I gotta put up with in this class? Alright.
On your game.
Julie is new in town, and when driving to work, she gets into a car accident that severely hurts her neighbor Nicholas. After spending a couple of weeks in the hospital, Nicholas is finally released and able to go home. Nicholas comes home, and every time Julie tries to talk to him, he avoids her or gets angry and irritable. When Nicholas goes to sleep that night, he wakes up to the sound of crashing, realizes that he's standing in his living room with a broken lamp on the floor, having no recollection of how he got there. He tries to go back to sleep with great difficulty and an occurrence of nightmares. The next morning, Nicholas is to return back to work, but he can't seem to get in his car. He starts to walk to work instead, even though it's a 30-minute trip, and as he crosses the street, the sound of a car skidding triggers a panic attack. What do you think is causing Nicholas to act this way? Look at it, wait for it, look at it. I know. Do they have the best PowerPoints?
Yes.
See, that's why our class didn't do them like this, because you guys don't have that kind of tech.
Oh, burn.
Did you put this on campus?
Campus, no, I don't work at Maricopa anymore. That's what they use.
Oh, sorry.
Blackboard's ASU, by the way.
I went there too.
We're using Loud Cloud.
I mean, that
But no, it's not on Loud Cloud yet. I'll put it on after we finish reviewing.
You worked at Maricopa?
Back in the day, I worked at Chandler Gilbert.
I would just thought so.
I know.
Oh.
It's like we're twins. Anyway, so hopefully the rest of you guys had time to read this. Telling you all about PTSD. That's usually not a problem, right? It's usually pretty easy to get this.
Yeah.
Okay. Diabetic and hypertensive 67-year-old man named Bob likes to play golf 3 times a week. However, he has been experiencing problems in moving some of his muscles, so swinging has become increasingly difficult. He assumed that the heat was getting to him, so he leaves with his son to get something to eat instead. They decided to stop by a nearby McDonald's. Bob was just about to order a Big Mac when he noticed that he was having troubles ordering. He could not speak properly, so he was unable to order the Big Mac he was craving. Disappointed, Bob figured that it was time to schedule an appointment with his doctor. He decided to make the phone call once he and his son got home, but when they did, Bob had forgotten his intentions. What do these symptoms most likely indicate? Stroke. Hang on. Technical difficulties. Oh, wait for it. Oh, yeah. Which kind of stroke is most likely?
Speech?
All right, how many say A? How many say B?
Broca.
Okay, so we got like 4 for A and like 4 for B, and everybody else is like confused. Because we need some more information, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? This, he could not speak properly. Apparently, to 4 of you, that means one thing, and 4 of you means another thing, and the rest of you have no idea what it means. Right? And that's the key, right?
Yeah.
So if he's having problems speaking, and it's like, hi, name, Bob, right? If it's like that, that's which one? Broca. Okay? Oh look, Jessica is here.
So it's not a motor.
Okay, that is a motor problem. Could not speak properly. Okay, so if it was very slow but coherent speech, that's Broca. If it's Wernicke, it's what?
It's like,
It's gibberish, and he's blah, he's talking blue, right? Okay, but it doesn't say which one it is, so that's what you need to know, right? Was it fluent but incomprehensible, like Wernicke? Because that's a sensory nerve issue. Or is it a motor nerve issue, Broca's very slow, broken speech? Okay? So for those of you, Kat, that are worried, and Kim, that what was the answer to that? Depends on what the rest of the information was given, isn't it? Okay? So, Brindley's a 6-year-old patient who was brought in by her mother who was concerned with Brindley's ongoing manifestations. The family recently got back from a 1-week vacation and her high 4-day fever has not gone away. Her mom has noticed that Brindley is now experiencing breathlessness and has been coughing pretty persistently. What is Brindley experiencing and how would you treat her? Kim's right, she does have a look of confusion on her.
I don't think there's enough information.
Why?
They should have said where they vacation.
Okay, where the
There's no
vacation
test
might have helped.
results.
Huh?
There's no like test results or X-rays.
There's no test results or x-rays.
So it's not
Can we eliminate
tuberculosis.
anything?
Yeah, not tuberculosis.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's tuberculosis or not, do we?
Because it could be, they could have traveled like out of the country, right?
We didn't say. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So we know it's at least not B, because tuberculosis is not a virus. And we know it's not D. D maybe, right? I mean, you could give somebody pneumonia, bronchodilator, but what's the point? It's in their lobes of their lungs, not in their bronchi. Probably wouldn't hurt them. Not really, you know. Not really. So I mean, we can get rid of some, but now, like you guys said, sounds like you could be both. What might the X-ray show?
Granulosa.
If it's TB, it's going to show granules, something about granulosum. Okay, granulomas or a bone complex. And if it's pneumonia, the X-ray is going to show what? It'll show fluid filling one or more lobes of the lung. Okay. Again, if you look back in your PowerPoint, I believe we actually had an X-ray in the PowerPoint that had TB and pneumonia in the same lung, right?
That's possible.
Well, TB can cause, anything can cause pneumonia. Okay? That's why you can't eliminate A necessarily either, because it might have been, heck, TB can cause pneumonia. Any bacteria, any virus, any protozoa, any fungi can cause pneumonia. Okay? But if it turns out it is pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia, then that is correct. If it turns out you have granulomas, then that is also true, right? For TB. So again, this is one of those questions where I had to add this part in at the end because, again, it was, you know, like you guys found, you need more information. Okay? Roberta Johnson is a, okay. Am I supposed to know that name? It seems very specific. Again, these are student written, so, no? Okay.
Roberta does that. It doesn't. Try Google.
I don't care what you do. Roberta Johnson is a 50-year-old woman who has worked in a coal factory for most of her life. With such a high-stress job, she has picked up the bad habit of smoking. On regular week, she will smoke 2 packs, but on a stressful week, she will smoke 3 packs. She has had a persistent cough for 2 years, increased fatigue throughout the day, and dyspnea. She has also noticed that her chest has started to have a round barrel shape. The doctors order a pulmonary function test, which shows a decreased tidal volume, and an arterial blood gas test, which indicates hypoxemia. What is her diagnosis?
Emphysema. Something.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you guys just said. Hopefully you
Yes.
said emphysema.
I did.
Some of you, I think, said chronic bronchitis.
Well, because is it like
What's the big clue?
Barrel chest.
barrel chest, but then the 2 years kind of like throws you off because isn't chronic bronchitis like for like 3 months for like 2 or more years you get a persistent cough?
Yeah, but it's the bronchitis, not cough, for 2 years.
Okay.
See what I mean? This
Yeah.
says you had cough. That doesn't mean you had bronchitis. This means you had a cough.
Okay.
So Roberta Johnson was murdered.
Was what?
Was murdered while pregnant
Oh,
in May 2016.
In May 2016.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. So does this have anything
And
to
then
do
buried
with?
in a shallow grave. That's all that came up.
She work in a coal mine by any chance?
She's pregnant at 50, probably not.
All right, well, that would be mean to pick on her, so that has to be just a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Sally Sue, don't bother looking it up, I'm sure they're playing. Is a 35-year-old female who walked into the clinic claiming that she is having problems with her vision as well as memory. She has unsteady gait, tremors, has overall weakness / fatigue. Sally claims that she has had these unpredicted attacks for a few months now, with periods of remission, and her disabilities are increasing. According to her family history, she has an identical twin that has had an autoimmune disease.
Has had.
She went into testing for an MRI, and the lab results showed that she had demyelination in white matter. Additionally, she received a lumbar puncture, and there were some noticeable patterns of IgG antibodies. What is Sally Sue's diagnosis?
ALS.
Relapsing multiple sclerosis.
Oh.
We got all sorts of junk thrown out there.
I wanna know how she got rid of her autoimmune disorder.
Maybe she died.
Yeah, that's what
I don't get rid of it.
But it says she has, not had, an identical twin, and then not has had.
I'm assuming that the students that wrote this were not English majors. Just saying. She has unsteady gait. Probably should have an unsteady gait, but you know, we're probably not grading them for grammar here. Anyway, they say it is MS because of these factors. Yes. Again, that demyelination of the myelin sheath, you can see that, okay, on a MRI. And for relapse and remitting, first off, 90% that have MS have that kind, so it's always a good idea to go with the odds when it's 90%. However, that also had, she said she had unpredictable attacks with periods of remission in there. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was really the key. Questions? Good. A young man named Drake was fairly active but ate fried food on the daily.